So it is June 22nd, 2026. This is going to be my second video, and I really want to talk about how bad we are enslaved to a system. And I know for most people, I think we already know that, especially for the US, for the States, how bad we are enslaved. And I think we're enslaved from birth. We're supposed to be enslaved. Supposed to go to school, go to work, and work for the rest of our lives. I think obviously from school we are brainwashed to think a certain way. We are brainwashed to be workers and not to be free. We can't be free, I guess, you know. Apparently it's illegal to be free in any aspect. Something that might interest you. I'm not really too sure if it will surprise you or if it won't, but I want to tell you about a story. So I was about 22 years old. I was working at a plant, basically a warehouse for Fewsbury, and basically it's General Mills. That's basically what it is, you know. At the time I didn't have a lawyer, I didn't have none of that, and I started working at this warehouse slash plant where they make toaster strudels and the strawberry ones, you know, strawberry toaster strudels. I'm pretty sure you might have had one before, once in your life at least. Almost like the Pop-Tarts, the strawberry Pop-Tarts, but it's not the Pop-Tarts, it's the toaster strudels that you put in the toaster and stuff like that. I worked for that plant when I was 22. And yeah, I got paid some decent money. I mean, the amount of hours I worked, between 40 and it was something nice where we didn't work because, you know, they let everybody go home because of the lines and stuff. The assembly lines and stuff were shut down. But, you know, I got paid with like 15, 16 an hour, somewhere around there. But I got pretty good hours. I worked third shift. And I felt like that was probably the worst dystopian kind of plant or warehouse I worked in. And it was pretty dystopian to me. I would go in and everybody kind of feel off. Everybody's like, I don't know, nowadays everything is just more like closed-minded and just, I don't know, you know, it's just weird, it's off-putting, it's just, you know, more culture mindset of just like being really closed-minded, narrow-minded, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they wouldn't even let you listen to music if you had earbuds and you had music. They wouldn't even let you listen to music. Most of the time, most of us had like ski mask kind of like thing, but it wasn't the black robber ski mask type deal. It was the more of like the keep your head warm because it was cold. It was so cold in there. They had to keep the cold in there. So we had those type of things where it covered up. It could cover up your ears, but I guess if you get caught, you know, I got caught and listening to music. I guess I had one earbud in, but I ended up getting caught, so I ended up getting in trouble for that. But they didn't fire me yet because I gave you like a point system or something like that. Anyways, I had a weird supervisor too. She was really, I don't know, man. I just don't know how to explain it. But so there was one night. Let's get to the point. One night I had to I was on the line in the boxes for shipping and receiving. The boxes that we had to stack up. I was on the line, and they have this weird thing where they call people for breaks. I can't remember because I had her number, and I think we had to communicate by text, obviously, but there was also an intercom where it would, if she needed to use the intercom thing to where, she, was calling people for breaks and stuff like that. The dude that I was working with too, he was on the line with me, and the guy that was with me, stacking boxes with me, I guess he came back from break. He told me to go to break for 15 minutes. You get 15-minute break. I guess I'm pretty sure when he came back from his break, he came and told me, hey, go ahead and go to break. I went to break, so I went to break, and I come back. There was another male supervisor there. I didn't know who he really was. He came back, and he said, was it your break? And then it was more of an irate, more of aggressiveness to it though, when he, you know what I'm saying? So as I was walking back to go back, I was like, I didn't know. I told him I didn't know. And I was walking back to the area that I was supposed to be at for the, stacking boxes. And for some reason, he was walking beside me. He grabbed my arm. He literally grabbed my arm like this. Like if I was telling you to come on, and then like I grabbed your arm. He grabbed my right arm, and that's when all hell broke loose, because I was like, oh hell no, this motherfucker just grabbed my arm, and I started walking back to the break room, because you go in the warehouse, and there's the lobby, the break room and stuff, and then there's the doors to get all of your PPE, all the stuff you have to wear, like the earplugs, the hairnet, and all that stuff. And then there's just so much like different lines and stuff where they're making all this, the product, and then the boxes, and just all kinds of stuff. Like it's crazy. But I started walking back towards the break room and the door that you leave the building out of, because I was so pissed. I didn't expect a supervisor. The supervisors usually have the blue hats, and the blue hats, and then the regular workers have like white hats. I think it's white hats or something. I couldn't remember what color that we wore. I think it was white. It had to been white. But the supervisors, all the supervisors and the manager, really the supervisors, wear blue hats. So, and the whole time I'm walking back to leave, he's walking beside me, arguing with me. I was like, man, like it was almost like a fight. But we were just going at it the whole time I was walking towards the exit of the building. And I kind of pushed him a little bit, because I was telling him he was getting too close, and we were just arguing. All the other workers were they started staring at me or staring at us, arguing as we were walking out. And he was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on?" There was a few ladies, and other lady workers. Said, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" We just kept walking and going at it, and it almost led to an actual fight with a supervisor. He had no reason to put his hands on me because he literally grabbed my arm and was pulling me, and I was like, there was no reason for you to put your hands on me, And I left the building, and I told my supervisor that he put his hands on me, but she was just like I said again, narrow-minded about it. She was just like, "Oh well, you walked out on a job, go back to the employment agency to go find another assignment." That's all she said about it. She didn't care. She didn't give a damn. I really just think that nowadays it's pretty much where I live. It's pretty much a work culture mindset. Nobody gives a fuck nowadays. You can't really fit in if you don't have a regular job, or if you're not, anything like that. It's just like people don't really. It's really hard to fit in. I think nowadays really hard to fit in unless you are conforming like everybody else, I guess. But there's a lot of people out there, that are not, and I'm trying to find a group of people that I can fit in with, because I think everything's just going to hell. It's really like slavery nowadays. This is another reason why I am anti-natalist. And after that incident, I felt like I could never really, hold down a job after that. And I don't blame myself for not feeling, for feeling like that way, feeling that way. So, it's revolution or die, I'm not gonna be working no more, because of the way this society is, the way that this world is, and it just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And I'm pretty much left wing, so I'm really not, I don't like Christian society nowadays, because I feel like another thing too, which I'll probably make another video on that. But just the way society is nowadays is really like nobody wants nothing to do with you unless you're, contributing to, modern, society. And I'm over it, I'm really over it. I don't like people. This is why I'm a misanthrope. This is another reason why I'm anti-natalist, because I could never see myself having a kid and forcing them into this kind of world that just exploits you and, destroys the environment. And we're gonna have a whole nother thing coming, because, the data centers too. I've been doing a lot of research and, social media, with the data centers and stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of videos and just a lot of, because they're building data centers now all across America, and it's getting worse. I think it's gonna get worse because they're trying to put up cameras too, flock cameras too. Read about that. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but with all these events going on and just the way my life's set up, I have no other choice but to just see it for what it is and to resist any part of society that's trying to buckle me down and And I feel so strongly about this because it is real. It's a real thing. Even with school, and school was very bad for me. School was basically a prison. If you already know, school is just prison, but it's just for kids, really. I would say. Get up around what I had to get up, school was just like 7 or 8, you get up at 7 or 8 in the morning, and you're there for 8 hours up until what, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then, but they conform you, they try to get you to conform. They don't even teach you about how to do taxes. They don't even teach you how to save money. They don't teach you about different plants or even how to, I think they do show you how to plant flowers and stuff, but it's not like, they don't even teach you how to hunt. They don't even teach you how to make a fire or stuff you really need to know in the real world, except for like, construction math and stuff like that. Some things they do, like I said again, like math and, science, but still, they don't teach you what you need to know to be able to be like steady, they're trying to program you to do what they say, and it's to really condition you to get ready for the real world, like getting a job and stuff like that. But it's still not like how to do taxes and stuff and important stuff like that, right? But we're all born, we're born to fail, obviously, because of stuff like this, shit like this. We're born to fail, so it's not like we're gonna crash, basically. And this is where I see America and really the world. It doesn't really matter what country you live in, but I think the U.S., the States, is just really just out of control. Everything's out of control with, the politicians and just society in general. I think, and it really puts a bad image on humanity as a whole. I know there's still like probably some indigenous cultures out there that still keep their roots, but to live a sustainable lifestyle for the planet. But I also think at this point we should just all go extinct. Doesn't matter if you're, humans and animals should just go extinct at this point. There's just a lot of major problems in this world today, and I think it's just going to get worse. Especially with the data centers that they're building everywhere. I think it's it might be in the other countries too, but mainly all I know right now is the U.S. has what 5,300 data centers now. So I'm curious to see where this is gonna go for the rest of humanity. But I think if we can just collectively come together and say, hey, we're not gonna reproduce, and then we'll be going extinct. Hopefully we can speed up the process maybe, and hopefully the earth the earth doesn't need us. It can survive without us. So, because apparently we're destroying everything, and then, so, I just wanted to make a video and get this stuff on my chest, and talk about, like I said again, you know, how corrupt humanity really is. Like I said in my last video, humans are corrupt, and I don't think nothing's ever gonna change unless we're all gone, unless we're all extinct. So, yeah. And that's really all I have to say today. Thanks for watching.